Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to episode 77. Am I overreacting?
That was such an amazing intro.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
Thanks, honey.
So good.
If you're watching on YouTube,
Oh.
we have what?
I thought you were going to say, oh, you're a little bit overreacting there.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
I set you up and you failed.
My bad. I didn't catch on to the joke.
Tried to throw it your way. Just didn't catch on.
Luna is here giving us, she's working for us.
Time to
Leg
pay
popped out.
Time to pay
snoring. Sorry, go ahead.
Time to pay some rent, Luna.
It's Luna's world. We're just living in it.
Yep.
All right.
Are you ready?
Have 8 stories.
Damn. I've got 11 though.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit, you do.
I just
didn't
kept
even see
going.
that.
I just kept going.
Damn, good for you.
I didn't want to bring them all in from the Am I Overreacting thread or
Same.
subreddit.
I got a good mix.
Yeah, so I tried to go around.
Same.
Yeah, so hopefully got a good vibe. Good vibe this episode. Episode 77.
Yeah.
Double sevens. Double the luck.
Yeah. So today we're going to be asking the question, am I overreacting? Not, am I the asshole? So that's what we will. Some of mine are, am I the asshole? But I'm going to be answering them as like, if you're overreacting or not.
So we're just blanket. It's okay to be the asshole this episode. Just, are you overreacting or not?
Sure.
That's the premise that we're going to go by.
With that.
All right. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Because I have a special one just for you. Just for Teresa Operisano Sunubika 2. Just for you, I have one for you. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
This isn't necessarily an Am I Overreacting one, but
What the hell?
But I found it while I was searching. It comes from r/shower thoughts, posted by Football Fish. And the title is, whenever an artist like Taylor Swift releases a song about a breakup, the ex-boyfriend must be out there in the world somewhere thinking, what the fuck? What an overreaction.
I absolutely love that. Oh my God.
Top comment. I've always felt bad for Scotty from Scotty Doesn't Know by Lustra. What a way to find out your girl's been cheating on you. That was a song that was written for the Euro Trip.
The Europe trip?
Euro Trip movie.
Oh.
Greatest movie ever. I think we watched it.
We did watch it.
I think I had you watch it one night. That is like, I miss movies like that. That was like the road trip one, Euro Trip. It was part of that raunchy teenage age movies. I don't know. It's good times. But yes, let's start us off there. How many of Taylor Swift's ex do you think that maybe Taylor Swift was overreacting in the songs?
Not at all. Not one. Not one was an overreaction.
Not one.
They were all valid.
That sounds biased.
I mean, you're asking me.
I know.
I'm literally wearing a Old Habits Die Screaming t-shirt.
Nobody can see that. They just see your laptop.
They know now.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Teresa can't help herself but be biased. So,
Well, who do you think?
I think they're always overreacting. It's music. It's entertainment. They're trying to drum out on your heartstrings and play like a little fiddle.
Wait, but I thought you were asking which boyfriend in particular.
I don't know the boyfriends. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, she never dated him.
No, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. That's it.
Not an overreaction. She got a 10-minute version on his ass.
We don't need to get into that. We need to get back to the stories.
Okay, let's go.
I wanted to make you happy. I didn't want to go down a rabbit hole.
You open a can of worms, honey.
I regret it. Not really, but okay. But you can go now.
Oh, okay. Am I the asshole for renting a house since my in-laws cannot understand work from home? I work from home. I think it is a fairly simple concept that most of us at least learned during COVID. My wife and kids understand that when I'm working, I am to be treated like I am not there. My kids are 6, 8, and 12. They are all able to grasp the idea. My father-in-law, his wife, and their kids visited us last week before back to school. They have stayed with us before, and they do not understand what work from home means. His wife is a bimbo that married him for his money, so I can understand her. And her kids share her DNA, so there's that. My father-in-law owned his own business, though. He seemed intelligent until my wife's mom passed away and he got remarried. They constantly knock on my door or try to barge in. All of them. Last time they were here, and the last straw for me was the emergency of their ball going over the fence and wanting me to call the neighbors to get it back. My wife will not stand up to her dad. So this time I just locked my office and I rented an Airbnb for their visit. Not for them. My wife wouldn't like that. Just for me to have an uninterruptible place to work. It means I have to leave my wife with the kids and guests from when I leave until I get back home, but I think it's worth it. My wife thinks I was an asshole to abandon her for a week. I think it was just logical. I was about 10 minutes away in case of emergency.
Oh, man. Are you overreacting? I think so, yes. I do think so.
It's a little bit of an overreaction. Like a little, very, very faint.
There's a part.
But valid.
There's a part where it says they constantly knock on the door or try to barge in. All of them. Last time they hear the last straw was an emergency for the ball going fence. Blah, 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 blah. So you have a door.
Mm-hmm.
Get a lock.
Mm-hmm.
Get noise-canceling headphones.
Yeah. It does say, I think he did say I just locked my office and I rented an Airbnb.
Yeah, so why can't you lock your office and hide inside of it? Why do you have to leave? So I would think, yeah, you are overreacting. I would think just put some sound deadening headphone or deafening headphones on and work away. Lock the door.
I do think it is a bit of an overreaction.
But sometimes you gotta prove a point.
Yeah. This has happened before, and I don't know if that's like what you got to do to get work done. I will say though, like you should tell your wife beforehand. You should like give everybody a heads up before you booked this.
Right. Maybe like you can talk to your wife and be like, listen, if you're not willing to talk to your pain in the ass dad,
yeah,
the next time he plans a visit, I'm going to be booking an Airbnb.
Yeah, give sort of an ultimatum. Like you say, like, this is what I need for me to get my work done. Like, this is my livelihood. We have to make it work. If you can't make it work, I will.
Where's the communication?
Yeah.
Like, hey, he's just like assumed like my wife will not stand up to her dad. Did you give her a chance?
I guess, yeah. Well, to me, that kind of insinuates that he told her last time, like, that your parents are being fucking annoying. Like, can you do something about it?
I think for the health of your relationship, you still give the ultimatum.
I agree.
Without just piecing out.
Give her one more chance to be like, yeah, either this or I'm leaving for the day. And
exactly. Then nobody can complain.
Yeah.
That's where you fucked up, bud. That's where you fucked up.
Top comment. Nice job getting your wife to deal with her dad.
Well, maybe this guy is just like beat down. Maybe it's been like so many times where he knows that she just won't.
Yeah.
He's been through it. The marriage has beaten him down like your work life probably beats you down. I mean, if you don't love your job.
Or your wife.
Yeah. Because, when you go to the workplace, you're always usually like happy, cheery go when you first start there, that eventually the workplace just beats you down.
Yeah.
And you go and you do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Sometimes a marriage could probably be like that if it's not the best marriage.
Is that what you think our marriage is going to be like?
Not at all. Because we have one key factor that I see us missing here. Communication. Oh.
We were going longer there.
Oh, no, that was already long enough.
All right, there is an update. First, I accept the criticism of the people who said I was an asshole for calling her a bimbo. Realistically, she is more of an opportunistic gold digger. Secondly, my father-in-law is well off, but my wife and I are doing well too. Our home is okay, and out-of-town visitors often stay with us because of our location, and I guess you would call them amenities. Lastly, my wife has agreed, after reading some of the responses, that dealing with her father is not my problem. She spoke with him and made it clear that they couldn't stay with us because they can't comprehend work from home. Thanks, everyone, again.
Oh, look at that. He communicated with his wife.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That'll do wonders, folks.
Amazing. Amazing. He probably took like a week off of his retirement. Could have retired a week earlier if he didn't spend that money on that Airbnb.
Oh, I'm sure he canceled it.
Oh, I thought he already went.
No. They said that they canceled. They made it clear that you can't stay with them because they don't comprehend work from home.
Oh, okay.
Well,
they canceled their stay. I wasn't sure if he had already. Oh, he's planning on booking the Airbnb? He didn't go to the Airbnb?
He rented an Airbnb. Like, he booked it. He didn't go yet.
No, it says, so this time I just locked my office and rented an Airbnb for their visit, not for them.
Oh.
So I feel like he went to the Airbnb.
Oh.
And this was like, what happened?
Oh, I guess. So this is probably like during, I don't know.
Like in the future,
what is the timeline here?
Maybe in the future, they couldn't stay with them anymore. But like, how fucking hard is it to understand work from home?
Yeah.
But like, okay, also, I am also confused here because it says she spoke with him and made it clear they couldn't stay with us because they can't comprehend work from home. How hard is it to say, listen, during 9 to 5, you don't go knock on his office door.
Yeah.
You are there if the kid needs to go to the emergency room at the hospital. That's it. Other than that, you don't disturb him.
I feel like it's like one of those things like, don't push the red button, and all you could think about is pushing the red button.
Yeah.
Like, you get told not to do something, you want to do it more.
Are you a fucking child?
Yeah, clearly.
You're an old man. So that's where I'm just like, she made it clear that they couldn't stay with us. I'm like, whoa, what? 0 to 100 real quick? Like, you could stay. Just that's a no-go zone.
Extreme.
It's like, maybe,
right?
it's like,
but maybe that was his boundary. Maybe that's what he said. Like, either they're gone or I'm gone. Like,
if
maybe
so,
that's
she's
what he said.
overreacting.
I don't know.
Now they're overreacting again. Because
it's two extremes.
Like, you're never allowed back. Not even one more chance. Like, okay, listen, I'm sorry. We won't knock on the door. I promise. You're not gonna give him that one more chance.
Right.
Just boom, you're lifetime banned.
This is a bit of an overreaction, actually.
That's a doozy.
Alrighty.
Over to me.
Yep.
This one's coming from AITAH, posted 1 month ago. OP is desperate-solid 2378. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife at a restaurant after she insulted me? My wife, 31 female, and I, 30 female, were at a restaurant to celebrate a big milestone in my career. I was talking about my career in voice acting, which I absolutely love, before she decided to insult me by saying, quote, "You should just be a mime instead so no one has to hear you talking anymore." My wife always makes a lot of jokes like these, basically insulting me, which I usually don't pay too much attention to. This quote-unquote joke in particular really hurt me because I used to be very self-conscious about my voice due to being bullied for years about the way I used to speak. So this hit me really hard. She also knows this was a hard point in my life and it was very hard to get past. After she said this, I just said, "Are you serious?" before standing up and abruptly walking away. I didn't tell her where I was going, but I drove to my studio and have been here for the past few hours. She has been blowing up my phone with calls and messages about leaving her at the restaurant to pay the bill. It was an expensive restaurant and I usually pay for our outings as I make more money. And for leaving her stranded, as I took the car when I left. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, as my wife always says this is just her sense of humor and I need to stop being a snowflake. But she is blowing up my phone calling me immature for leaving over a joke. Am I the asshole for leaving her at the restaurant?
Ooh. This also, I think, is a bit of an overreaction. I think you left her stranded. Like, you took the car. I think that is quite rude. Like, what she said was rude, too. Don't get me wrong.
2 wrongs don't make it right?
I think this is more of a wrong.
You think so?
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Taking the car? How would you feel if I took the car and abandoned you?
Oh, yeah, I would be pissed.
Same.
But also, like, I wouldn't be this rude to you. I wouldn't say, so no one can hear you talking anymore. Like, that's rude.
What kind of marriage is that?
I don't like that. I don't like, why do you want to talk to your partner like that?
Why does something need to be putting your partner down to be funny?
Right?
Like,
yeah, there's a way to be, like, funny without being rude.
How much do I joke around that is, like, being rude but being sarcastic?
No, you don't joke around at, like, people's expense.
Like, how much do I make fun of you but with sarcasm?
Honestly, not really. I don't even think you do.
It's not fun. It's not funny.
I don't.
I mean,
unless
you like trip or something, I just like call you out on like what you did.
Yeah.
But I don't go like, "Oh my God, you're always so clumsy. You can never walk straight" or something. I feel like that's a bad example. I tried.
Like, that's not even bad.
Yeah.
I feel like they both. Okay, what is the question? Am I overreacting?
Yes. Is she overreacting for how she
I
reacted?
do think she did a little bit.
I
I
kind of
don't think
do.
you should have left her there.
Right? I
Like,
feel
I
like if
think
you
you
guys
could have
drove
dealt
together.
with it. Yeah, you drove there together. I don't know. I think you could have left together and then, like, I don't know, been silent in the car, like
Yeah.
like a normal couple fight. Like, you
Yeah.
just, you know, turn your knee the other way and look out the window, and that's all.
As much as I'm like, hey, getting an Uber is easy and stuff, like if you drove to the restaurant together, I always find it pretty fucked up if you just abandon them at the restaurant.
Yeah, over like, okay, I'm not saying that this wasn't something to react about. I think OP should definitely be feeling hurt and she should definitely communicate that. But it's still like, yeah, two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. Yeah. Best comment. My ex-wife would do this stuff all the time. I didn't fully recognize it as abusive until after we split. In my case, it ended up getting so awful, she would, quote, joke nearly every day about me ending my life and making it look like an accident so she would get insurance money.
What the fuck?
And where I finally decided to draw a line with her was the fact that nobody else was around to laugh at her biting wit. So who was this joke for? Certainly not you. Was the server laughing? Meanwhile, if someone was around to laugh, what's the joke? You get to feel humiliated and exposed? Don't blame me for walking out. This stuff escalates over time until you can't just sit there and take it anymore. Not the asshole.
Damn, that's actually such a good point. I feel like it's almost worse to say it in front of people, though.
Right?
It's like,
Definitely.
yeah, I don't think you should never be making a joke at anyone else's expense. This is not.
There's no appropriate way to do it. It's not really a
funny.
joke. Like, are you a 7th grade bully?
Yeah, you're a bully. That's exactly what she is. She's bullying her wife.
Yeah. Next comment. Whoa, I'm happy for you that you left. Someone has joked like that to someone I loved and then started getting physical. I cannot take these jokes as any less than legitimate threats. Good on you for figuring out you deserve respect. Are we not overreacting enough, thinking that it was rude that she left her without a car? And everybody's like, yeah, good job.
I don't know. We could be wrong here.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like if this is a big pain point for you, which it seems like it is, like, then you have to have a bigger conversation and not run away from things like this. You can't just like take a scapegoat and leave her there. Like, I just feel like, yeah, that's not going to do anything for your relationship. And if you don't want the relationship to continue, then like talk about that.
What if you've already like done this numerous times and you're at your wit's end? So you're like, fuck you, I'm leaving you, find your own ride home. They got to take the bus back. And while they're on that bus ride, they learn a lesson. They're like, shit, maybe I was so rude. Now I'm on the bus by myself. My ride left me because I was so rude.
I think it makes a difference for me if like you have intentions of leaving at that point or not. Like, if you literally, like, if you in your head are like, okay, this is the final straw, like, I don't want this, I don't want to take this abuse anymore, then it's totally fine to leave. But if you are still like going to intend to keep the relationship going, I don't think you should be leaving her there.
So you don't think like making them take the bus as a way to like learn their lesson is a good way to go?
No, I don't
way to
think
go
you need
about
to
it.
be teaching your partner lessons like that.
They're not your child, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you do with your teenage kid who's
Exactly.
like mouthing off to you after they ask you to drive them to their
Exactly.
friend's house.
That's a relationship that you quite literally have to keep going. Like, you are their parent. This is not one of those cases. Like, you don't have to stay there and take the abuse.
Yeah. So there's an update. To answer a few questions I got. My wife is unemployed and has been for the past few years. She was working in a very toxic company, ended up having to leave due to it taking a toll on her mental health. I don't care that she is unemployed, as my salary is enough to support both of us comfortably. The restaurant was only a 10-minute drive away from our house, and she had the house keys, so she was not locked outside. Me and my wife have known each other since we were teenagers and have been married for 5 years. We've always got along well, but things have steadily been going downhill since she has been unemployed. I introduced my wife to playing games online after she was unemployed since she had a lot of free time and didn't know what to do. I thought we could bond over this, and I even ended up buying her a complete setup. As time has moved forward, my schedule has gotten a lot busier, and she has been spending more of her time online, and honestly has seemed quite disconnected from reality. We have had many arguments about her change in attitude and lack of interest towards me in our relationship. Most of the time that we talk and I tell her something good that has happened to me, she says something out of pocket, but always ends up playing it off as a joke if I press on it. Despite this, she is also very lovely and sweet sometimes, so I don't think of her as a bad person. Anyway, here's the update. I ended up messaging my wife while I was at the studio that I wanted to take some time to think first and that I'd be coming home in the morning to talk to her about what happened. I also apologized for leaving her and not telling her where I was going, but she didn't reply, which was a little unusual considering she was blowing up my phone. I got pretty worried that something had happened, so I ended up driving back home at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. I found her drinking alcohol at home. I've had a suspicion for a while that my wife has been drinking secretly. But every time I try to ask her about it, she changes the topic or avoids me. When she saw me, she asked why did I come back home and that she didn't want to see me. She seemed pretty drunk, so I tried to give her some water and sober her up a little, but she just knocked it out of my hands and started yelling at me about how I embarrassed her, that I'm ruining everything for her, and a lot of insults. After her outburst, she locked herself away in her bedroom. I ended up looking through her PC, and I'm not proud of that, after I saw a few comments that she could be cheating on me or that she resents me, and she has been sending nudes to multiple different people online. I haven't really spoke to her since that happened or brought up what I have found. This happened a few days ago. We have only said a few words here and there since that night. I've been staying for as long as I can at my studio every day since this happened. I don't know how to face my wife or even look at her anymore. It's gotten to the point where I can't even focus on my work properly anymore. A lot of comments pointed at abuse, and after really evaluating the relationship and how I've been treated these past few years, I can really see it. I was so blinded and kept thinking to myself that things would somehow get better, but I think it's best to take some time for myself now. I've spoken to a few lawyers about divorce, but I'm still waiting. I'm not sure where my wife will live and how she will support herself since I have been supporting her financially, so I'm still trying to work things out. This probably will be the only update I make regarding this situation. So thank you again to everyone who commented and supported me.
Damn. It's for the best, I think. This is no longer a healthy, loving relationship from both of you.
Yeah. Top comment on the update says, OP, you definitely deserve a better partner than that. And I got to agree.
Yeah. I also I don't know. The sentence where she says, we have always gotten along well, but things have steadily been going downhill. A lot of stories do that, where they talk about their partner as if it's an acquaintance. We always get along well. We get along well.
Right?
That should be a given. You shouldn't have to state that. That's your partner.
I would hope you'd be getting along well.
I would hope so.
How many people are in marriages where they're not getting along well?
Right? I just as soon as she said that sentence, I'm like, okay, this is done. This needs to be done.
Yeah, she does make an interesting comment on the update. She says, hello, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when we were teenagers and has been on medication. So I've already dealt with mood swings for basically the whole time that I've known her. Since we started having so many problems, I suggested for her to see a therapist multiple times, even found a few for her, but she didn't want to. I care about her, but I don't deserve to be treated like this. She has betrayed me and has walked all over me for quite a while now. I understand she is having a bad time, but I've done everything I can to try and help her. I can't force her to get help if she doesn't want to be helped in the first place.
Yeah, that's tough. I agree with that sentiment. You can't force her to be helped if she doesn't want to get help in the first place. And yeah, shit happens. Life gets in the way. People develop physical illnesses, mental illnesses, and you are supposed to stick by them through, what's the saying, through
thick and thin?
There's when you say
sickness and health?
There's sickness and in health, yeah. But when it's someone who doesn't want to help themselves, you can't really go down with them.
It's wild. I couldn't imagine losing my job and then all I do all day is play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then I backhand insult you all the time, make you pay for everything, and treat you like shit.
Well, OP must have been, I don't know, putting up with this. Oh, she obviously has been putting up with this. And I think the wife took advantage of this. She was like, well, she puts up with this, and this. She's never leaving me.
Right? Got too comfortable.
Yeah, got too comfortable.
Damn. All right. Back to you.
All righty. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop seeing his therapist because she's super unethically religious and told him he's way out of my league?
What?
So my husband, 34 male, has been seeing this therapist for about 6 months now. I, 31 female, was supportive. Therapy's important and he's never done it before. But then he came home and said how his therapist, let's call her Dr. Prophet, said he should embrace his divine masculinity and seek a woman who matches his energy. I was like, you have me. And he laughed it off. Quote, oh, she's just super spiritual. It's her thing. But I always thought it was unethical, as a Christian, for her to add her beliefs into unbiased therapy. People have different approaches, and he seemed to like her a lot. But I wasn't really worried. It wasn't like, oh no, he's in love with his therapist thing. Though I think he should have got a male therapist. But then it started to get weird. He started bringing home the printed Bible verses she gave him with handwritten notes about finding his true partner in the eyes of God. Mind you, we're already married, happily. It's not like he's going to therapy for me, or so I thought. And no, it wasn't that she didn't know I existed. He has me as his lock screen. He claims to have talk about me a lot, which now I'm questioning what in the world they've been saying. And I'm always there to pick him up. We share cars. One day he told me that she said that I seemed insecure and threatened by his light. What does that even mean? We've been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I've supported this man through 2 job losses. We both support each other and there's no jealousy between us. I legit make more and it has been like that for 3 years now. 3 weeks of not hearing from his therapist, he told me that she told him he was way out of my league and that he needed to enter into the role God has prepared for him in 2025 and stop letting others extinguish his flames. When I asked if others meant me, he shrugged. I told him I didn't want him to see her anymore, not just because of the weird religious manipulation, but because I think she's actively trying to harm our marriage. He said I was trying to control his healing and that she is the only one who understands him. And I made clear that I truly believe men deserve mental health help as much as anyone does. He even mentioned if we wanted kids together, which we do, I should let him heal, and I shouldn't be the same way when me and him have the kids we want are together, if we even do, quote. So now I feel like I'm a crazy control freak. Am I overreacting? I want him to have a therapist, but not one who acts like a TikTok prophet. Yes, I went there. He says I'm being unsupportive of his growth. But to me, it feels like his therapist is trying to become his wife in spirit. And sorry, I forgot to add this, and I don't really know where to do this or add this in, but his therapist is a 45-year-old woman. I do not know her marital status, / is kind of irrelevant. She's very beautiful, no doubt. She has an alluring accent and whatnot, and I'm guessing he sees her as older and wiser. Am I the asshole? They're 27.
God damn, he needs mental health he needs mental health help from his mental health help.
He needs therapy from his therapist.
Oh my. Okay, it's a little insane. But do you think the therapist is just going 0 to 100 real quick? Or do you think she's feeding off of the shit he's telling her?
You know, I'm going to say I had that thought too, because I feel like my therapist does that.
Like, okay, you could, this could be the rare instant where we got another Ruby Frankie therapist case.
That's what I was picturing. Yeah,
I'm thinking they're Mormon.
What's the name of the Ruby Frankie?
Devil in the Family.
No, but the girl, her name.
Therapist name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But I just, from that documentary that we watched, that's what I'm envisioning when I go through this. Take that very rare incident where your therapist is a psychopath out of the equation. And is it not more likely that your therapist is kind of just like reinforcing what you feel and telling you like, hey, if that's how you feel, it's okay to feel that way. And like you should follow that, makes you how it feels. So like maybe the therapist is just, maybe it's really deep down the husband's fault. I feel like, I don't know, like, shouldn't that be more likely than, yo, this therapist is crazy and she's ruining your whole marriage? Oh, versus he's ruining your marriage and he's just, the therapist is like not really like enabling him, but like
Encouraging.
Like, doesn't a therapist try to encourage you to be your true self? So if you come in and be like, oh, I feel like I'm trapped in this marriage. You know, I feel like I don't know if my wife is the one that I really want to be with. Wouldn't your therapist be like, you know,
supporting you? Because that's what they're literally being paid for.
Right? Ah.
That is a good point. I actually had this thought the other day when I was in therapy. I was like, my therapist has never disagreed with me.
As a therapist, I feel like that you walk a fine line. Yeah. You don't want to piss off your client because then they won't come back. They're your livelihood. You want to help them the way that you can, but at the same time, you don't want to like abruptly. No, I meant brunt. You don't want to like brunt, like brute force go against them. Like you don't want to be like opposing your client. So I
don't know what brunt means. It's fine.
Brunt is like a hard force.
You're right.
Word for word.
The word brunt refers to the main force, shock, or impact of something, especially something negative or harmful.
Yeah, so you don't want to be, as a therapist, have like a brunt force, like different opinion where it just comes off so harsh to your client. Yeah. You kind of want to be like with them so they come back. So like, I don't know.
It is tough. That is a good point. I didn't see it from that perspective when I first read this.
I do really quickly, like at first I want to be like blaming the therapist. But then I'm like, they're a profession. They go to school. So I feel like it'd be a pretty rare chance where you're getting a saboteur therapist. Yeah. Or it's probably more likely that she's going off of what he's initially telling her.
I like that perspective.
Like he's passing the buck off to the therapist, that it's all the therapist's fault. But the buck stops with him.
Top comment. Girl, it sounds like he's already lost in this rabbit hole. I would look up an actual therapist who can help you navigate the undue influence he's experienced. Whoever this woman is, I doubt she's a real therapist, but if she can be reported to anyone who can hold her accountable, she needs to be. OP replies, I looked her up late last year. She's legit and has great reviews. I just don't know how whatever license she has hasn't been revoked. Maybe it's because most of her clients are also Christian. It doesn't excuse the plain professional negligence. That's another thing, though. Like, why is she sending him home with, like, Bible verses?
I do think that's weird. Is that appropriate if you are, like... I don't think
so.
I feel like therapists are supposed to be, like, neutral.
Right?
I'm more on the side of...
Like she said, unbiased.
I'm coming back to crazy therapist thoughts.
Yeah. I don't know about this one.
There's a comment that says, he's against couples counseling, and now that I look back, I've only seen the word licensed, but the credentials and education are nowhere to be seen. I wonder if you can get self-licensed, or maybe you can just say licensed on your website.
Possibly. I have
like,
no idea.
What are the credentials? You could definitely try and go down the rabbit hole of authenticating her.
Yeah.
And maybe if you can find some stuff, you can
I wonder if you could
fight
just
against it.
Ask ChatGPT, is this person a licensed therapist?
Maybe. Oh man. OP comments a lot on the thread.
So there is an update in the comments. When I looked her up, she's credentialed and well-reviewed, but she works for an overly Christian employer and office, which isn't bad, but they don't clarify that this is solely Christian therapy and shove Christian beliefs in your face. Imagine the poor people with religious trauma. Also, I am Christian, and the vibe there is out of date and even offensive. I've called once with a basic question about therapist credentials and gotten weird, unfriendly front desk service. My husband won't discuss her further, won't let me attend a session with him, and just keeps telling me to drop it. I was blaming the therapist for being unprofessional initially, but reading some comments and thinking some more, I'm realizing my husband is probably adding to all of this. For example, he's never talked directly to me about how he feels about my career, even though I earn more and pay our bills, but I've overheard him talking to his mom about it. Some comments pointed out he could be feeling inferior and talking himself up to his therapist to feel better. His mom believes I need to be in a more feminine position so he can be the breadwinner. I believe he is feeling emasculated, but won't admit it to me. He tells it to his mom instead, and I suspect to the therapist. He also refuses couples therapy. He says it would make him feel guilty for dragging me into it, and is afraid of his mom's reaction. She doesn't believe men should be sensitive or go to therapy. It feels like his loyalty to her and this therapist is stronger than to our marriage. He also seems to be gatekeeping therapy. I've considered reporting the therapist for ethical violations, but I know my husband would likely backtrack if it ever came down to it. He would say it doesn't matter what she said or that it's no big deal. I'm feeling gaslit and locked out of a conversation that is deciding the fate of our relationship, but it all feels like I'm overreacting.
Holy fuck. See this? Okay.
Damn.
So this is what I was kind of saying. Like, how much do you think he's leading into it? Is there such thing as a Christian therapist? I mean, it could kind of make sense, but would they actually be licensed to be like an actual therapist?
Well, she's not. They're not.
That's what I mean, right? She's a Christian therapist, like fingers up quotations, Christian therapist, but she's not like a real therapist. And her whole therapy job is to like shove the Christian beliefs down your throat. I mean, I'm Christian too, but whatever.
You're Catholic.
Oh, it's just, to me, it's the same thing.
I actually don't really know.
I don't know the difference. But the part where she says that the mom believes I should be in a more feminine, what the? I don't want to try not. What is with men that have such an issue when their partner makes more than them? Like that emasculates them. Buddy, you emasculated yourself then for letting that happen.
Yeah.
What do you want your wife to do? Okay. You know what? You're right. I need to be more feminine. Okay, tomorrow? Oh man, crazy coincidence. My work, they just said they're going to give me a pay cut. I'm about to make 50% less starting Monday. I can either keep my job or I can take a severance package. I'm just going to keep my job, but you need to step up. You need to make more money. And then take half your paycheck and just put it into an RSC or a 401k if you're American, RRSP if you're Canadian. Just put it into a savings account and don't let them see your money and be like, we're struggling. Are you going to pay the bills?
Mm-hmm.
The hydra's going to get cut off. Be me more manly. I don't understand why men get so offended when they make more money.
I completely agree.
I still want to hold up my hand. If Teresa made more money than me, which a couple years she has, I'd be like, put that in your savings. Put that in your savings. Like, I don't know, we'll still split the things 50-50. You get more play money than I do. You can buy more Taylor Swift merch. Why am I taking offense to that?
Yeah, it's...
all of that whole little update, edit, reply in the comments just makes me like, how are you still attracted to him? So you know what it is? He's a mama's boy. Hold on, he's a mama's boy. You think he's getting you think he feels bad over you making more money than him and you're paying bill. It's not even just that she makes more money than him and she has more spending money and she wants to take them on vacations and do that stuff. She's paying the bills for the house. So he's not even like holding down the fort at home to feel manly. Like it's one thing if like, okay, you make so much more and you're like, hey, I booked us a vacation here. Or like, hey, I upgraded here. It's like, oh, okay, I could kind of see that. I think it'd be totally invalid. But when you're using your wife's money to pay the household bills, that's fucked up.
I agree. I think it's like a fear of other men looking down on you. It's a fear of being judged by other men.
Go make more money then.
I know. Like,
if you're so afraid of that judgment, then go step up.
Yeah, like what do you mean you want me to take a more feminine role?
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Buddy, I would if we could afford it. Clearly, I'm paying the bills of my income.
No, but I don't even think that should be the case. Like if you...
Well, you shouldn't have to.
No.
But I just mean that as a jab back.
Yeah. Like some people like their job.
Yeah, but like realistically, if he made enough, no matter what she made, she wouldn't have to pay the bills if he wanted to be manly. He'd be like, no, I got the mortgage. I got the car bill. I got the hydro.
Can't do it.
I got all the bills. Whatever you make, love of my life, wife, everything you do is, you're my queen. All your money can just go into savings. You can do whatever you want with your money. I've got everything else if you want to be manly. Ridiculous.
Agreed.
I don't think she's overreacting. I think she's underreacting.
Right?
Underreacting.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Back to me?
Back to you.
Okay. Oh no, Luna's woken up.
Hi, Luna.
Oh no, she woke up.
Hi. She's giving me a
She's gonna leave now.
Stinky.
Stop calling our cat Stinky.
I'm sorry. I know they can understand.
This one's coming from /No Stupid Questions. 18,000 upvotes. My son's third grade teacher taught my son that 1 divided by 0 is 0. I wrote her an email to tell her that is not 0. She then doubled down and CC'd the principal. The principal responded saying the teacher is correct. What do I do now?
What?
To be honest, I'm mildly infuriated, but I'm wondering if I'm just overreacting. Should I stop fighting this battle?
I would be petty. What do you mean you're a teacher?
So if
you're giving my son the wrong answer and you're fighting. Google is free.
if
You can Google it.
if 1 divided by 0 is not 0, what is it?
It's undefined.
It's undefined?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be 1.
No.
At first, I thought it'd be 0 because I was like, wait, is she right? And the commenter, people are laughing at the commenter because 1 divided by 0, anything divided by 0 is always 0. But that's if 0 is divided by anything. It ends up being 0.
Yes.
But 1 divided by 0
Is undefined.
Wouldn't it be 1?
You can't. It's literally undefined.
Yeah, but you did like 1/0.
That's 1 divided by 0.
But maybe it's confused.
It's
It's
not
undefined.
confused. I know it's undefined,
Same
bro.
thing came up.
I'm an accountant.
I did not know this.
Jeez.
Got accounting skills. My math teachers didn't ask me to do math that wasn't real.
Everybody knows.
I guess they do have to teach you that in 3rd grade because you got to learn when math doesn't math.
Yes. I feel like this is you probably just forgot, but you were definitely taught that.
Yeah. Top comment. This reminds me of the time in 2nd grade when one of the questions on a math assignment was something like 2 minus 5. I put -3 as my answer and it got marked wrong. In the margin was a note that since negative numbers aren't covered until a later grade, that I was supposed to mark the, quote, it can't be solved box.
What?
It made me so mad to think about it 46 years later.
No, I would.
Hold
oh
on.
my God.
No. You're telling me it's not even like, hey, write the answer in and you wrote -3. It's a multiple choice answer with -3 as an option and can't be solved as another option. Like, it's impossible that your parents would be helping you with your math homework and being like, 2 minus 5, that's -3. You think your parents going to say, it can't be solved?
That would haunt me. That would haunt me.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yep. So do you think this person is properly reacting
They're reacting
to the teacher and the principal?
the correct amount.
So they should go to the school board?
Yeah, I would.
What if the school
What do you mean?
What if the school board tells them that's correct?
Bro, move.
Private school.
Move districts. Like
Private school. A quick Google search
actually though.
determines otherwise.
If you received an email and are like, hey, I think you taught this today in your math lesson, and by the way, I think you're wrong, would you not, your first thought wouldn't be to Google it? Like, oh my God, maybe I am wrong.
Right? You'd
Are
verify.
people so overconfident that they just
I would verify before
yeah.
the email gets sent back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% I'd be Googling it. I self-doubt myself all the time. I, for words, or even for just that, I was so confident that it was undefined that I, kind of, when you were like, is it undefined? I, doubted myself and I had to Google it.
This reminds me of a really email. It's like, this was
email?
a really dumb email that I did. This was actually under r/facepalm. I had a facepalm moment the other week. I emailed the parts department at the RV dealership that we were buying it from, and I asked them for a certain hitch. And then a week later, I was like, hey, I'm thinking of this other hitch. Can you price me at that as well? I sent that on a Friday or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think he finally got back to me on Tuesday or something. And he was like, and this was right as they were setting up delivery. So my salesperson was asking me questions and this parts counter was asking me questions. So I thought maybe the salesperson asked him to look up the question, and he gave me the answer for the hitch, and he's like, here's the price for the hitch. And I'm like, okay, that's great. It wasn't the reply email that I was expecting. So I was like, why did you send me that email? And then he's like, I am confused. So I have CC'd my manager on it to help whatever.
What?
And then I reread the email thread. And on Friday, I had asked him for that exact quote.
Are you for real? You didn't reread the email thread before you said, why are you sending me this email?
Yeah.
I'm judging you so hard right now.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
This is basically what they're doing.
Yeah. So instead, you sent the email, and instead of me being like, man, I'm confused. Why did he send me this quote? instead of going back 3 emails previous and asking and like looking like, oh, there's the email that I sent asking for it.
What the fuck, bro?
I'm confused. Why did you send this to me? And then he's like, I'm confused. I'm CC'd by a manager so they know I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, fuck. I am so sorry. I had a brain fart there.
Oh my God, dude.
I haven't emailed him since for their part numbers.
You haven't emailed?
No, I replied back and said, I'm sorry. I was confused. So sorry about that. That's my bad. But there's like been other information that I kind of I would have asked that I haven't.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed to show my face too.
I'm embarrassed.
I would be too. Jesus.
When I go take delivery of the RV, I'm going to have to like find this guy and be like, hey, I'm the dumb motherfucker to send you that email after I asked you to do the thing for me. When you did it, I asked you why you did it.
Poor guy. He was probably staring at his computer for so long. Like huh?
Huh? Yeah, because I sent him an email on like Friday, and then on like the next day, he's like, what kind of truck do you have? And I was like, da da da. And then he's like, and then he asked me a follow-up question. So it was like 3 or 4 emails in and a couple other things, and I just got confused. He's like, this is what the price would be. And I'm like,
just like
why
use your resources, people.
Just check your email thread. If you get an email and you're confused why they answered a certain way, just double check what you asked them.
I think most people do that.
Well, I had a brain fart, facepalm moment, okay?
Clearly. All right.
Back to you.
Am I the asshole for ignoring my wife for throwing away my late wife's videotapes? I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife and her name is Eleanor. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks and she's turning 18. Background, me and my late wife, Chloe, had been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married, and after our wedding, she shared news with me that she was pregnant, and I was excited that we were expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of our whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as us just joking around or having lunch, or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Eleanor the tapes on her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression and having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. Our friends tried to get me to go out again and start back dating, but every time I did, it felt like I was betraying her. Years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday and we instantly hit it off. She doesn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. We've now been married for 2 years. Eleanor's 18th birthday is coming up and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, why can't you be more like Chloe? Or, Chloe was only supposed to be my first love. But I talk about her in a way that gives my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model, then started working on her fashion career, and don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman, while Wendy had 2 kids in college and, quote, was not in the best shape, due to her words. I love both women, how they are, and I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she was as she broke down crying. The next day after the incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay, and it's okay that she felt comfortable to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were, and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in the closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere, to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box, and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped, and I asked her, what does she mean? And she told me that I talk about her too much and that I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only she threw away what I had left of her, She threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument as she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point where I started crying and locked myself in our room. It's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through a computer, finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give to my daughter, because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day, and she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she really is, but I just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and to get over it since Chloe died over 10 years ago. But I'm trying to ignore them all because they never had someone so close to them die. I am working on finding these files, and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do, and I really need this.
I think you're underreacting. I would be done. I would be stone faced, stone cold, like
just the way she said it.
Just nonchalantly, like, you need to move on. It's like, this wasn't even for me. Like, did you come home and like find me watching them crying and reminiscing? Like, I was planning on giving them to my daughter. Like, you fucking psychopath.
Yeah. I think it just makes it so much more cruel that she like asked him where they were and then
just to throw them out.
Yeah, and then proceeded to go find them and throw them out.
Yeah.
Like literally asking him to his face where they were, and it's not like she was like, not that it excuses it in any way, but it's not like she saw them lying around in a blind rage. She like threw them out or whatever.
Yeah, or like didn't know what they were and threw them out. And then said it's time to move on.
And just the fact that she's like neutral expression.
Plotted that.
Oh yeah, I threw them out.
Like she was waiting for it.
Huh? I beg your pardon?
I'd throw her out.
I would actually throw her out. Like, she is done. Dead to me. I don't even know how you would continue with this relationship.
I can't see it. I'm just a little sad. Like, I know that him and his late wife had talked about showing the daughter them with the 18, but like, I wouldn't have waited. She passed away. I'm going to show that to my kid all the time. Like, everything that I have of her, like...
I don't think that's fair. I think that's, like, something that he wanted to uphold.
Yeah, I know. I get that. I wish that he would have... Because she was 2, and, like, you know, he... Like, did he have other stuff that he was providing her with, and this was just, like, one thing? Or was this, like, almost all of it? Because they would have been... Maybe they wouldn't have had much digital content back then.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying, just to like give her a piece of her mom.
Yeah, I would, you know what I mean? Like, I understand you made that promise, but like that promise would have been the last thing on my mind at that time, where I wish he just like gave the kid every piece that she could. But if at the same time, like if there was lots of other stuff, that digital stuff that they had, okay, that's, you know, that's fine. You want to honor that promise. But I don't know, I'm getting the feeling that like that was like almost all the digital content that they had. So I don't know what I would have done. I just wish that he, you know, showed her when she was younger and didn't wait for she was 18. But either way, it's sad. It's fucking bullshit. I'm mad.
Yeah, this is brutal. Top comment. Dear Lord, I'm honestly not one to advocate for divorce, but I do not think I could continue a relationship with someone who did something so wildly despicable. That isn't jealousy. That's a mental disorder. She stole the only vestiges of your wife that your daughter will have. This is not something you come back from or she can apologize for. This is a line in the sand.
Yeah, I don't think this is anything you could come back with. I don't think this is a line in the sand. I think she walked in wet concrete. Now the concrete is dry. The sand.
I get it. Damage is done.
Yeah, like it's irrevocable damage. I feel like a lawn...
Irreversible?
Yeah, that's what I meant. A line drawn in the sand, I feel like, is fixable.
What are you Googling?
I'm looking up the meaning of it.
Draw a line in the sand? It just means you're on two different sides.
Setting a firm boundary or limit beyond which something will not be tolerated or accepted. Yeah. I always thought of drawing the line in the sand as not being that firm because, you know, sand is easily movable. The water comes up, washes the line away, you know, but I guess it's supposed to mean that. Yeah, my bad.
You're so funny.
Oh.
Divorce. All right, back to you.
Murder.
Jesus. We do not condone murder.
No, we don't condone violence.
Or murder.
Murder is different.
How?
It's like, if you're going to go above the speed limit, at least make it worth it.
What the?
Go 300 miles per hour. Max your car out. Maybe I was overreacting a little bit. Was I overreacting?
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. So there's actually a small update. I didn't expect this to blow up. I came on here to look for general advice, and now I have thousands of people talking in my DMs. I'm going to be answering some questions that I'm getting asked about the most. I was thinking about asking Wendy about the tapes and where she threw them out, but I saw a comment that told me don't ask her because it might give her some time to hide it or lie. Instead, when I went back home, I checked in the outside trash cans and the kitchen one, and I still couldn't find them. Trash day isn't until Thursday, so I was confused. I finally went up to ask her, and at first, she wasn't going to tell me. I threatened with divorce like one of you guys said, and she gave in. It turns out she kept the videotapes in her car until trash day arrived because she knew I would look through the trash. So now I have the tapes, thank God.
Wow, thank you. Thank
Amazing.
God.
Another question asked was, did Eleanor know about the tapes? No, I didn't want to ruin the surprise until if I knew that I had a backup. She doesn't know about them now, and I'm not planning on telling her until her birthday. The only problem is that I'm afraid that Wendy might tell her. One more question is people asking if I'm considering divorce. Wendy never did anything like this before, and I don't want to ruin a 6-year relationship. But at the same time, I really do think she needs some type of help. I'm considering asking her to go to therapy, and I'm really considering our relationship. Wendy is really good with my daughter, and my daughter loves her and her children like family. I think Wendy is just trying to take Chloe's place with being Eleanor's mother. I'm really starting to think she has issues. A lot of people also said if I don't divorce her, I will betray my daughter. My daughter is my number one person, and I think I should find someone better that can respect not only me, but my daughter and her mother.
Absolutely. Even if your daughter doesn't know, I think it is still a betrayal to your daughter of being with somebody who is willing to erase her mom's memory. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, if you don't want to divorce her for you, do it for your daughter.
Yeah.
She doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect your daughter. Do you want to be with someone who doesn't respect you both?
Exactly.
No, that is a big no-no. I can understand, like, love and not wanting to ruin or throw away all those years of marriage and stuff, but I just feel like for me, this would just make me see you in a different light.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. That's a frickin' whirlwind. I hope he divorces her. Divorce.
Okay, there's an update part 2. It's been a month now. Things have definitely been changing. For anyone wondering, Eleanor's birthday went great, especially without Wendy there to ruin it. Basically, what happened was Wendy found my post and went crazy about it. She started accusing me of trying to ruin her life over something so little, and the way she only found out because her older sister saw the story on TikTok. We got into an argument and she tried gaslighting me into being the crazy one, and threatened to leave me and take all I own in whatever she said. Then she proceeds to go into our room and start tearing things down, trying to look for the tapes again. I pull her wrist, trying to get her to calm down, but she took it as an opportunity to start breaking down crying, saying that I hit her, which I backed off and just watched her as she tried to throw things at me, and now I reached my breaking point because it's the day of my daughter's birthday and had little time to get to dinner tonight because we have reservations. I was already ready and had to pick up Eleanor from a friend's house, so I grabbed my keys and left her there, not having time for her to act like a child. And, by the way, the tapes were at my mother's house, as we were all going to go there after dinner. The night went great after that, and me and Eleanor came home to a messy house with furniture and pictures teared up. It looked like a bunch of 3-year-olds went wild in there. Wendy and her children weren't anywhere to be found, and neither was her car. I already assumed it was Wendy who did all of this. Plus, I had proof because I kept security cameras in my house. I tell Eleanor about everything that went down before her birthday, and she was shocked to know that the woman she thought was an angel was actually a bitch. Long story short, we call the cops. Wendy gets arrested, but gets out after 3 days. Now I am almost done with my divorce process. Also, Wendy, if you're reading this, have fun living at your mother's house and having a criminal record. I hope it was worth it.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
The insanity. Holy. I think somebody was
ruined your life.
Somebody overreacted here, and it wasn't OP.
Was not OP.
Oh my God. And this is why we say it's so difficult to love a widow when you're not a widow.
Yeah, like
you got to be a big person to be able to handle that.
And you just have to be like, you have to know yourself. I feel like me, I know I would not be able to handle it. I would be constantly thinking back. I would be comparing myself to the ex-wife or whatever. Sorry, the late wife or whatever.
Are you already thinking of me dying and you having to move on?
Stop it.
What the hell? How do you know that you wouldn't be able to handle it?
I know. Fuck off.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Would you?
I have no idea because I've never thought of it before.
Well, think about it now.
Calculating.
Okay, no, but truly, I feel like you have to be an emotionally intelligent person.
You gotta be a big person.
And just also know yourself.
I don't know about that, but you just gotta be a big person.
I think you can easily tell if you're a jealous person or not. And if you are, maybe don't date a widow.
Oh, okay. I should be fine then.
You should be a little bit more jealous.
You're wrecked. You'd be a wreck.
I would.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah.
Let's just keep you away from that happening then.
Okay, don't ever die.
Go, done deal.
Good.
Let's shake on it. Pinky swear.
Thank you.
All right, back to me.
Yep. Now I just feel like I jinxed us. I'm scared.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Stop looking at me like that.
Want to undo that.
Am I the asshole for telling a woman her child is welcome in my home, but she isn't because of her criminal record? My husband, 28 male, and I, 27 female, have a 5-year-old son who just started kindergarten this past fall. He has met a boy named Sam, who he has decided is his best friend. My son has had a lot of playdates in the past because we've tried to socialize him well from a young age. He has been asking if his friend Sam can come over for a playdate. Sure, no problem. I write a note with my name and a number for Sam to give to his mom. I get a Facebook friend request from Sam's mom, Wendy, who appears to be a Methany.
What does that mean?
I work in healthcare and recognize the sores on her face from picking. It's pretty obvious from her Facebook that she is on some kind of drugs and maybe has mental health issues. Out of curiosity, I looked up her name in our county's jail view record and yep, long history. Drug possession, fraud, prostitution, theft, battery, obstruction of justice. It's not great. Anyways, I didn't want to let who his mom is get in the way of our kids playing together, but there is no way in hell that I'll let my son go over to their house for a playdate, despite her offering. I played it off as me being overprotective and him being my only child, not to. She laughed and said, if you have more, you'll learn to be less overprotective. She has 5 kids, but agreed to a playdate at my house. The park was also an option, but she said my house was fine. The weather is very cold here right now, so indoors over the park makes sense. Sunday comes and they come over. I let the boy in. I mentioned she could come back in a few hours to pick him up. Whatever works for her, and I'll be sure to feed them both lunch. I asked if he has any food allergies. She says no, but she insisted on staying. I tried to make up a silly excuse, said I had a headache and would watch the boys diligently, but I'm not really in the mood to hang out. She insisted that it'd be great for us to get to know each other. Since the boys were out of earshot already in the playroom, I stepped outside and quietly told her that I had looked up her criminal record, and I just don't feel comfortable having someone in my home with theft charges and an obvious drug problem. I said if that's a problem, we could meet at the park from then on, but the boys get along, so I hope it's not a problem. I admit I was maybe a bit harsh and to the point. She kind of yelled at me and said I think I'm better than her, which maybe I do, and that I don't know anything. She stormed off. Her son's still in the house. I checked with the kids to make sure they didn't hear anything. When she came back, she just honked her horn and refused to come to the door. My husband kind of thinks I'm an asshole. He's always been very gentle and kind. He thinks I should have just watched her like a hawk. I told him I don't want to forcibly subject myself to that kind of person, and I shouldn't have to be on guard about some crackhead stealing our stuff. Am I the asshole?
Ooh. No, I don't think so. You're trying to protect yourself and your child. Like, that is... If there's one person that you have to protect in this world, it is your child. And I don't think inviting someone with a criminal record into your home is doing that. I think you gotta protect your own. I don't know. Like, you try to be polite and just say, I have a headache or whatever. Like, I'm not really in the mood to socialize. And she kept insisting. So, like, what are you supposed to do at that point?
You gotta
like,
use blunt force.
Yeah. You didn't say blunt before. You said brunt.
I guess I did.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, you tried. You tried to be nice, and she wasn't having it, so.
It wasn't brunt, it was brute.
Was it brute?
Yeah, but it's okay.
It was brunt.
No, it was brute.
No, it wasn't.
Brute force.
It was brunt.
Fuck, I don't know.
It was brunt, because I Googled it. Yep, brunt.
I am confused myself. My bad. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, because like part of me is like, who looks somebody up in the jail records? Who?
I mean, that's not my first thought.
I looked her up in the county jail review record. I'm like, damn, that's smart.
That is smart.
Vetting your kids' friends' moms, whether or not you let them go to their house. I'm like, okay, it's a little overreacting, but hey, I mean, I guess not when they have extensive like drug possession, fraud, prostitution, theft, battery, obstruction of justice. Like, you don't usually get arrested once and then you get all of those charges.
Yeah,
like,
this wasn't just a one-time accident.
No, like that's like, okay, like you look it up and like they have one drug possession charge. That's like, okay, they got caught smoking weed in the park or something, whatever. They have one fraud charge. They have one theft charge. It's like, okay, they stole something from a store. But like, to have that many listed up, like, I feel like they would have had like that's so many different things. And usually like they'll like cut you breaks to like try to get you out. And they're like, no matter what you did, they'll usually cut it down a bit. So like, if this is all that's on the record, I would expect to be 3 times worse than what you actually did. And that's just all that ended up on the record. So I'm just like, it's a lot of different incidences for that stuff. So I'm like, damn.
It is, yeah, it's inexcusable at this point. Like, yeah, like you said, if it was just like theft, maybe you were a kid and I don't know, you stole something from a store, whatever. Not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But this is like a million things, honey. Yeah. I don't.
And like,
I think as a mom herself, she should also understand that. She should also understand that like your kids are your priority. And
yeah. The part where the husband's like, I think I should just watch her like a hawk. I feel like that's kind of what I was leaning to.
I don't think I would have.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what she did. And I think I'm like proud of her for drawing that hard line.
Yeah.
Personally, though, if my kid's having a play date and that person was like being so insistent, I would think I would probably try to avoid. I probably wouldn't go hard on the confrontation. I would probably be like, oh, okay, sure. Let me get you a glass of water and sit at the kitchen table and just short talk it.
Sometimes it's like too little too late. Like sometimes like you don't think something will happen until it happens. Like, I don't know. Like,
no, that's true too.
Who knows what she's capable of?
Exactly. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think nothing wrong with that and probably the better thing to do. Do I have the guts to do that? Oh, I don't think I even do. I feel like I would try to be like, get her at the kitchen table, short talk it, be like, oh, okay, I gotta go like do laundry and stuff. Okay, time for you to leave. But what if she comes in and she's like, can I use your washroom? Fuck. Fuck. I can't watch her like a hawk when she goes to the washroom.
Yeah.
Not unless you have like one of those like half baths that's right by the front door. What's she gonna steal? A soap dispenser?
Right.
And you're just like, yeah, it's right there. But like the bathroom that's like upstairs in your house, like, I think you're absolutely right to not let her in. Do I think it's a little harsh? A little bit. Do I think I'd have the guts to do it? I don't think so.
I think I would have made up another excuse and been like, I have to work. Like, I'm going to be on calls or something. I don't know. Something else.
But then how are you supposed to watch the kids? You got to come up with a good excuse that wouldn't make her think that you're not watching the kids. It's difficult.
Yeah.
No, right. Top comment. When we moved into a new area, a neighbor said, quote, "Your kids are welcome to come over, but I have enough friends." I laughed, and one conversation with her was enough for me already. Like, you know, you could have been rude without being rude. You could have been, "No thanks, I don't have time, I don't want to.
Yeah.
No thanks, I got enough friends." You could have been rude without calling her out on the criminal record stuff.
But also, like, it's the truth.
Right?
Like,
but the truth just
why spare her?
Because the truth just pisses people off, and people with sketchy passes, I don't want to piss off.
But I guess, like, for your own safety, you should spare her. But
I'd rather her think that I'm a bitch than I'm judging her.
Yeah, I guess. That's true.
Another top comment. Probably would have been better to meet up at a neighborhood play area, like a mall or something. This way, you don't have to worry about her being in your house that you know you don't want her to be there.
I was thinking that too. Like, she only mentioned a park.
But like,
she mentioned the park because she was like, "Oh, this is the only other viable option, but it's cold."
Right? Like, you also fucked up because now she knows where you live.
Yeah.
And if she took offense to what you said for her.
Right?
Well, what's to stop her from doing something crazy in the future? Right? Yeah, I would have tried to be rude of just being rude, not calling her out. Like, I know you have a criminal past.
Yeah, because then it's like poking the bear.
Right? You're like poking the bear. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, you tell someone like, "Yo, I know you got past," and you're like, you're fucking crazy. You're like, "Oh, you want to see crazy? I'll show you fucking crazy. Here's a rock through your window." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, that's also a risk of like, she's just going to yank her son out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
OP is getting downvoted on all of her replies, though. Someone probably said, "What are you worried about?" She replied, "Go into my bathroom, steal my medications and jewelry."
I mean, that's valid.
Bro, every single one of her comments is getting downvoted. I think people thought she was overreacting.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Back to you.
All right. I installed a lockbox for my cheese, and now my roommate says I'm creating division in the house. Am I overreacting? Okay, so this might sound insane, but hear me out. I, 24 male, live with two 29 male, 28 female roommates. One of them, 29 male, is fine. The other one, 28 female, is a fridge pirate with sticky fingers and zero shame. I don't even think she likes half the stuff she steals. She just eats it because it's there. The final straw was my cheese. My mother brings me cheese from my home country every time she visits. No, I can't buy it here. I had it hidden behind the milk for safekeeping, but I opened the fridge yesterday and it was gone. She said, "Oh, I didn't think it was a big deal. It's just cheese." Question mark, question mark, question mark. No, it's not just cheese. That cheese was the only joy I had left this week. So I snapped. I went full chaos. I brought a small fridge lockbox. Yep, a plastic safe that goes inside the fridge. Combo lock and everything. Put my cheese, my fancy yogurt, my cold brew, and my chocolate in there. Labeled it, "Unauthorized entry will be considered an act of war." She saw it and now says I'm creating division in the house and being hostile and passive-aggressive. Am I? Or is this what happens when you push a peaceful person on the brink over dairy? Because honestly, I'm about 3 bites away from putting air tags in my hummus.
Oh my God. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, and yes. I am creating a division in this house. A division from you and my cheese. A division from your sticky fingers and my food. And I am being hostile and passive-aggressive. Why? Because you're stealing my food.
Guess what? This isn't passive-aggressive. This is aggressive. This isn't passive at all.
I'm being hostile and aggressive. You should know better.
I respect it.
Fucking 28.
I respect it so much.
Yeah.
This is...
You're lucky. He's nice. He's being nice.
He's letting you live there still.
No, that's not what I meant. Did he put laxatives in the chocolate milk that he knows that you'll drink? Did he put regular milk in his almond milk container? Did he put dog poop inside the spring rolls that he knew you're going to eat?
Now it's getting illegal.
He just locked off his stuff from you. He took it easy on you. You should be thanking him.
This would set me off.
Would it?
Oh, yeah.
Over cheese? Yeah, over cheese,
my food.
You'd be mad over cheese.
I love cheese. Cheese is my favorite food group.
What if I drank your orange bubbly?
I'm saving that. And you know I'm saving that. It's been in there for like a week.
Yeah. I bought peach bubbly.
Yeah.
And Teresa looked at me like
I hate the peach bubbly.
Like I'm the worst person ever.
I don't know what it is. I think I drank like peach Smirnoff when I was
peach schnapps.
A kid. And like by kid I mean like 16.
Yeah.
And I got super drunk on it. And now just like the peach flavored drinks just like give me the stomach woozies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have one orange bubbly left and you better not fucking drink it.
What if I ate all your chocolate covered blueberries?
Don't do that either. Okay, if you do that, go get me another one.
See, that's the difference. You could go to the store and get stuff. You're still rude as fuck. You're still a shit roommate, little sticky finger Steven roommate. But you're stealing cheese that's not even from this country.
Yeah.
Although raises some red flags on border patrol now that got that crossed. Your family. When we went to visit your family, they kept talking about the provolone or something. Mother-in-law bringing provolone across the border.
Ma'am,
is this cheese? No, provolone.
Provolone. Yeah, my sister's boyfriend, his nonna, went to Italy a few years ago and like brought a whole luggage worth of provolone.
Yeah. I didn't even know that these fridge lock boxes existed. I didn't know that was a thing.
Me either.
Thought you just put sticky notes on your stuff, and then when they take your stuff, you just take their stuff.
But this is like irreplaceable. Like it's not balanced.
Sure. No, for sure. Also, you can get like a mini fridge and stuff. But like you steal my stuff, I'm gonna start stealing your stuff. See how you fucking like it, bud?
Yeah. Top comment. I want a fridge lockbox now. Don't need one, but now I must have one. Someone replied, why the fuck am I looking this up? I live alone and my cat has no thumbs to open the fridge.
The next one. You think cats need thumbs to open a fridge?
So true.
I want one now too. I need to keep you away from...
From what?
My yogurt.
Oh, please.
No, I need you to keep you away from my Chick-fil-A sauce.
That's ours.
I just want to keep the hot sauce away from you.
What? You don't even like it.
Exactly.
Why are you trying to deprive me?
It's war. Talking shit on my peach bubblies.
Update. Okay, I did not expect this to blow up. I'm laughing so hard. I haven't even had the time to read all the comments. There's too many. However, my two big takes are, what is the cheese? And the note is aggressive. The cheese is asadero cheese. It's Mexican cheese, and yes, if you look it up, you can probably buy it online. It is not the same, though. The one I like and get is from the small 10,000 habitant town 2 hours away from my hometown. It just has this unique taste, and it makes sense to me. The note is not aggressive. It's a joke. Like, hey, I'm locking my food away from you, but we're still cool. However, please stop stealing. I'm not actually going to go to war, although it would be fun. Anyway, I'm pretty sure we've moved on. She's buying me lunch tomorrow, and I'm not getting rid of my lockbox, nor am I getting a mini fridge in my room. I like the idea of her seeing tasty stuff in my lockbox and not being able to eat it.
Oh my God, I love that.
So petty. I love it.
That. That's amazing.
All right, back to you.
All right, back to me. This one's coming from, am I overreacting? #relationship. My boyfriend, 22 male, and I, 21 female, have been official for almost 4 weeks. He texted me this after leaving me with his friends shortly after I arrived to a restaurant that they had all planned to meet at. Before I got there, he had already ordered for both of us. Everything seemed fine until about 10 minutes later when I went to the bathroom. When I came back, his friends told me, quote, he had stepped out, but I'm sure they knew what was going on based on their expressions. I waited about 15 minutes before he replied to my text and ended up leaving money to pay for food I didn't even get to eat. This was my 3rd time wearing my hair in its natural state since we've dated, and I didn't know he felt so strongly about this. I went home all without answering him. I was really upset and I told my roommate about it, but she brushed it off and insinuated that I was overreacting. It has been almost 2 days now, and I still don't know what to think. I feel like I'm going insane because everyone around me seems to think it's not that big of a deal, and most of them laughed at the picture. So the text message goes like this. She says, "Where did you go?" He replies back with just a question mark. And the next bubble says, "It makes me upset when I bring you to nice restaurants and you wear your puff instead of taming it down or something nicer. I know it's your natural hair, but I see girls your complexion with their hair done and it makes me wish it was different for us." And then he attaches an image, which the search result for the AI photo generator was beautiful, dark skin, curly hair, cute. And then there's the image of a girl. And he says, "Something like this, maybe when we're going out, would be nice. Don't you think?"
I'm appalled. Oh my God.
Imagine I invite you to a restaurant with our friends there, and then you come in, and then you go to the washroom, and then I just leave. I just disappear because I didn't like that you left your hair the naturally curly state. That's just the way that your hair is, without spending 2 hours straightening it or spending so much time to like put energy into the hair. You just left it natural. And he walks out of the restaurant.
No, I can't imagine that.
That's fucked.
What kind of person does this?
The smallest man that ever lived.
Hell yeah. There you go. Damn. The good news is you've only been dating for 4 weeks.
4 weeks, yep.
That is the silver lining here.
Bam.
Oh my God.
What gets me the most is the roommate says that she was overreacting.
What do you mean? And other people in her life too.
Yeah.
I think you should put this guy on blast. You should be like sending this to everybody.
Right?
I wouldn't even know how to respond to I wouldn't respond to this actually. I wouldn't even know how to react.
I wouldn't either. Talk on, man. Dating is a time of discovery. You've discovered he is a terrible person. He left you while you're in the restroom. You know what he could have done? Let you know he was leaving. He could have simply enjoyed your company instead of focusing on your hairstyle. He could have communicated with you privately. He could have laid down money for the meal before leaving. He could have, but he chose not to. What your friends seem to be overlooking is not that your hairstyle is part of you and is yours to style, but that he thinks he has the right to control how you style it. Yesterday, he doesn't like your hair and wants you to change it, throwing a hissy fit in the process. Tomorrow, it will be your boobs, or lips, or the shape of your chin, or your laugh, or your job, or your friends. Chip, chip, chip away at you until a year from now, you've tied yourself into a pretzel you won't even recognize who you've become. You've just discovered that this jerk simply is not man enough for you.
Damn, that is so well written. It's so true. Like, if at 4 weeks he has the balls to try and control you this way and be like, I don't like your hair that way. Bro, 4 weeks in, you should still be trying to impress her and be on your best behavior. Why are you so comfortable to say this to her?
Exactly. So OP makes a comment that has a little bit of an update in it. What people don't get is that things like this have unfortunately become normalized in the environment where I grew up. I will try to respond after things have calmed down. But as for a small update, my roommate ended up letting him into our apartment for him to talk. What threw me off is that he seemed angry instead of apologetic. I made it clear I didn't want to talk, then left. This whole thing has become a mess, so I'm sorry if I seem ignorant of the supportive messages so far, but they have really helped, so thank you.
Oh my God.
Roommate just let him in? Like, what the fuck?
That's terrifying. Girl, you need to leave.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no further update after that. This post was 3 months ago, so...
Holy shit.
That's insane.
That's disgusting.
That is absolutely disgusting. Even if it wasn't your hair, even if it was anything, doesn't even matter what it is. You said something that he didn't really appreciate, anything like that. He just walked out and left you without telling you. Doesn't matter what the situation is, not to mention just this fucked upness, but anything else where your relationship partner is just going to walk away and ignore you and just leave you out in public with no response. You come back from the washroom and he's gone. Disgusting. Yeah. Doesn't deserve you.
Truly. And you know what? It'll make you feel better to know that he will probably end up dying alone.
I hope so.
If he's doing this 4 weeks in, he will never hold a relationship.
I would hope so.
So that gives you some peace of mind, hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay, back to you.
All right. Am I overreacting? I ended a friendship because my friend called me when my dad died. A few months ago, my dad died. I was on his bedside. It was 5 a.m. He had been battling with an aggressive disease for a while, and his partner called me because his situation worsened overnight. I immediately drove home the night before, but he didn't make it to the morning. At that moment, all I wanted to do was cry and mourn and figure out what to do next. My parents are divorced and my mom was in another state, so it was left up to me to make the arrangements all while grieving. Of course, I called my mom to tell her the news. Unfortunately, without me knowing, Mom sent a message to their former coworkers about the news, general things to, quote, pray for me. Both have been teachers/basketball coach at a high school I went to, and the news spread like wildfire with social media. I obviously did not check social media in that crucial time. I was literally waiting for people to pick up my dad's body still in the early morning when a friend started calling me. We were kind of close before. We were in the same group of friends that occasionally still met after high school. Let's call her Ella. I didn't answer because I was waiting for the funeral arrangement call and didn't want to miss it. She tried over and over again, which annoyed me, and I also wondered if/how she knew, so I blocked her number for a while. It was a long day of crying and making arrangements and crying. When I finally got home that evening, I saw messages pour in. Finally, I saw that our high school batch's group chat was activated. I saw the chats and I was livid. It started with someone insinuating, "Did OP's dad die?" The answers to follow were, "OMG, I also heard. Is this true?" Then Ella started chatting like she was my keeper. Quote, "I'll confirm the news. I'll call OP. Wait." And people were asking, "What did OP say?" After a while, the old friend said, "She's not answering. It's probably true." At that point, I stopped reading. I realized that this friend was not calling me because she was concerned, but because she wanted to break the hot news to our old high school batch. She did text me several hours after to say her condolences, but the trust was already broken. At my lowest point and my worst day, Ella pestered me with calls just so she can call dibs on the confirmation. I ended the friendship right then and there. I unfollowed and removed her from my socials, blocked her everywhere, and did not invite her when meeting our same group of friends for the said reason. Though I did not slander her or anything, only 2 friends know the real reason. Am I overreacting?
Not at all. Not in the slightest. What the heck? Even without that group chat, I would have been like, why are you repeatedly calling me? So that I find that I had to block you. Like, bro, I don't pick up on the first call. Leave me alone.
Except when I get nail polish remover in my eye.
Well, that was an emergency. And we're in a relationship, not long lost friend from high school.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just joking. No, this is a extremely valid response. Yeah. All you do is, okay, bye, block, done, deleted from my socials, unfollowed. I am no longer friends with you anymore. You want the tea. You want to bring the group of friends the tea, which is so gross. You don't actually care about me as a friend. To think to say your condolences first, it took you hours later to be like, "Oh, by the way, my condolences. I just called you a million times to find out. Oh, and by the way, let me give you my condolences."
Yeah, that's disgusting.
This is a person that lives for drama.
Right?
They live for the thrill and getting, I don't know, they have a sad life themselves and they need to compensate by getting tea from other people. Even
before the phone call, the group chat was pretty disgusting. Oh my God, I also heard, is this true? She's in the group chat. Wouldn't someone say, "Oh my God, OP, I'm so sorry for your loss"?
It's just so insincere, so like heartless.
Yeah.
Is that crazy.
Is that what high school is like nowadays?
No, but it's not high school anymore. They were friends in high school.
Oh yeah, now high school's over. Ick. Just give me the ick.
Top comment. No. Grief tourists are the worst. I cut out a friend for similar reasons, realizing that my shit show of a life had become her gossip fodder. What is fodder?
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be folder, but it's probably fodder. The fuck is a grief tourist? What?
Fodder is food, especially dried hay or feed for cattle and other livestock.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it too.
Damn.
Grief tourist. Yes, I usually just call these people vultures, but I like this term better. Grief tourist.
Yeah. All right, back to me.
Okay. Okie doke. What did I say? Okay.
Am I the asshole for laughing when my son came home from meeting his girlfriend's parents because he chose to behave like he does at home? My son burps a lot while eating.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried telling him multiple times that it's rude. I've told him to slow down so he doesn't swallow air with his food. I've told him that it is disgusting. My wife will instantly jump in to defend him. She says that's just the way he is and it's not his fault. The thing is, he can control himself, but he chooses not to. So he just went on a date with his girlfriend last night and she tore him a new asshole. It was his first time meeting her parents since they live in another city. They went out to a fancy restaurant and he burped all the way through supper. He came home almost in tears from her chewing him out for behaving like a jackass in front of her family.
Ew.
I heard him telling my wife about it and I laughed. She asked what was so funny, and I reminded them both that I had tried dozens of times, if not hundreds, to teach him table manners, and he rejected them, and she protected him. I said he is now a grown man and he had to learn the hard way. They both think that his girlfriend overreacted and that I am an asshole for being amused by his experience.
No, I don't think so. I will say I'm guilty of this though. My ZO used to bribe me and my sister if we didn't burp for like a whole year at the dinner table, he would give us money. He really tried. Never worked.
I'm on your uncle's side.
No, I can totally see how this can be something that is just natural to you. Like, okay, yeah, if you're not going to try and hold yourself to the standard of having manners, then yeah, it will come out at inopportune times when you least want it to, but it's just going to be natural for your body to continue to do it. And
yeah,
you won't even realize it.
Yeah, happens to you quite a bit, I guess.
Me?
Eh?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, I was raised pretty strictly, but I was raised that I can control my burping, and I don't burp. Like when you met me, did I burp?
No, literally never.
You made me comfortable burping.
Yeah,
because I would never burp around you.
Yeah.
I would like swallow it down or whatever, like do like this as silent as I could if I need to. It's very rare that I had to. I was raised not to fart and burp in inopportune times. Like you're supposed to hide that stuff. It's not public. You don't do that in front of everybody. You don't do that around family.
Yeah.
You bury that stuff down. You have made it openly.
I guess I don't know
farting
why.
and burping house.
That's just the way my parents were also like.
Is Frank always burping at the dinner table?
More my dad.
Not that I've noticed. I haven't really noticed your parents burp.
Where did I get it from? I don't know.
I don't know.
But now as an adult, I do agree with OP, and I am like, that is kind of gross. And like, what was that? What was that?
A little burp that came up.
Yeah? Yeah, I don't know. As an adult now, I'm like, that's kind of gross. And you also like, you want what's best for your kid, right? Like you don't want them to embarrass themselves.
Right? But then what do you do when your wife just shuts you down?
Definitely, I think it's a valid reaction to laugh and be like, haha, I told you so. Haha.
Exactly.
Like,
Take your moment.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around, find out, bud. This is my moment to laugh in your face.
Exactly.
Top comment, not the asshole. I also laughed at this. How old is your son? Doesn't matter either way. There are times for this behavior. Dinner at a restaurant is not one of those times. Girlfriend did not overreact. Hopefully he learns a valuable lesson from this. And OP replies and says, 22.
Damn.
Somebody says, 20 goddamn 2? I was expecting like 16 or some shit.
Yeah.
Not the asshole. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's...
Someone else says, surprised he didn't fart, stick his hand in his pants, then ask his date to sniff while going, hallelujah.
That doesn't say hallelujah. It says hoo, 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 hoo.
You're right.
Where the fuck did you see hallelujah?
I don't know. Fuck me. Words are hard. Yeah. Yeah. I hope she breaks up with him. He needs to learn a lesson.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's not totally breakup worthy.
No, I don't think it's breakup worthy.
Like if I was if I found it really unattractive of your burping and it bothered me, I would have communicated it.
I think the biggest issue here is that he did it in front of her parents, and in public.
Yeah.
Like you're not just
burping
doing
at
it
like Teresa's not belching out burps when we go to a restaurant. She's not in the middle of like chewing down a steak and just she does it at home in the comfort of our privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting me on blast.
You're welcome. You know what she does? You know what,
I mean, I kind of did it myself.
Do you know what Teresa does do at the restaurant that I find embarrassing? But
what?
Most of you guys probably won't because it's due to my childhood trauma. She eats with her utensils in the wrong hand. She always eats with her steak knife in the left hand and her fork in her right hand. No matter what she eats, her fork is in her right hand.
I cannot swap now. I am 26 years old. This is what I've known. I've been eating like this for 26 years. You just want me to swap? You try swapping and tell me how that feels.
When you guys go to the restaurant, do you put your fork in your left hand and your knife in your right hand? Or do you have them swap?
Why does it matter if you're at a restaurant or not?
Doesn't matter. When you eat, when you're at a restaurant, sometimes you try to eat a little bit better. You don't burp at the restaurant.
No,
you don't fart as loud as you can when you're at the restaurant.
No, I promise you, no one is looking at what hand your utensils are in.
Me, if you ever have dinner with me, I'll be with you. Also, I guarantee you the servers are noticing.
There's no chance in hell. Servers, any servers listening to this, please comment if you ever pay attention to anybody eating with the utensils. No way. I
think depends on the restaurant. The server will notice. Option 1, server, when they set the table to where the fork and knife are wrapped around a napkin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You got to unwrap it yourself. That server probably won't give a fuck. But you go to a restaurant where it's fancy and you sit down at your table and your fork is on your left side and your knife is on your right side.
I guarantee
and maybe there's
noticing.
Like 2 forks and like there's no steak knife, but there's a couple like butter knives, and then you get a steak knife when you get a steak, and there's spoons at the top. Those people are judging.
No.
Judging.
No.
If the fork is on the left and the knife is on the right, in between your plate, they're expecting you to eat it like that. You have to manually swap the cutlery in order to start eating.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're doing it wrong. When you set the table and the knife is on the left, or the knife is on the right and the fork is on the left, that's how you set a table. So if you don't eat that way, you are doing it wrong because the table's already been set. I can't take you to anybody.
I still stand by my sentiment.
We cannot go eat in front of royalty with you.
Good thing we will never have to.
What if we want to go meet the queen? Or what
if the queen want to meet us?
One of our followers has a castle in Norway and they want to invite us for a meal.
Is that the queen?
No, it's just, people over there have like castles and like, they still have like butlers and stuff.
You're fucking weird.
You're fucking weird the way you eat shit. And then when we're at a restaurant, you can never put your fork and knife on the plate together.
Yes, I do.
To signify that you're done.
I always do that.
You do that now. And I was thinking it was your sister. Last time I sat beside your sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you got to do that.
Yeah, I always do that.
Knows you're done. And she's like, huh? But I will admit, this was my mother's upraising for me. And my mother was a stickler for that stuff. So... Maybe
it's a you issue.
It is definitely an issue that I have. So, yeah. Okay. Back to you.
All right. Am I overreacting? I found weird pictures in my boyfriend's iPad. I went out of town and my boyfriend stayed home because he had to work. I came back and thought he was acting a bit off, so I checked his pictures on his iPad that synced directly from his phone. In his recently deleted folder, I found a picture of my side of the bed, where my medication, book, and melatonin are. A picture of my desk, a picture of a printed out picture of my brother and I, along with a handwritten note that's on the fridge, and a picture of our dresser. We are not planning on moving or selling any of these items either. I'm convinced that he took them so he could remember how everything looked before hiding them because he invited someone over. Am I overreacting? I don't want to say anything about it to him until I get a little clarity.
That's smart.
That is smart.
Yo, have you ever taken a picture of something to put it back the exact same way?
No.
I feel like
I
I may
haven't
have
had
used. I
to.
feel like I used this technique in high school. If I went in my sister's room or something, I don't know, like borrowed something.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is she's instantly like, I came back home and thought he was acting a bit off, so I checked his pictures on the iPad because I know his phone automatically syncs them. Fucking life hack over here. You want to get an iPad now, babe?
No, you could just look through my phone if you want.
No, I meant for you.
No, I could just look through your phone if I want.
Yeah. It's like, she's like, really, it's like a leap here. There's a leap here. Why is there such a leap?
So what do you think he's doing?
Well, I think, yeah, like he said, he invited somebody over and he wanted to hide them and then put stuff back. I think that's spot on.
Then what do you think she's leaping at?
Cheating.
Huh?
Cheating. But I'm just wondering why. Why is she automatically like, yo, I need to go look for pictures? Not like, hey, honey, why are you acting so strange? Just went diving into the deleted pics.
Just cut out a lot of details because the story is very short. She probably did.
Story's so short. Why would you need to cut anything out? It's not like she had a character limit here.
I just mean she probably just like made it concise. I don't know. I would assume that there were other signs that she's leaving out.
I'm feeling like she's taking a leap here.
But you're saying that you think he's cheating, so I'm confused. What
else would he be doing?
You're being contradictory.
No, I'm confused why she was so mad, just leaping right towards that. Why she had to check the photos. It's like, why are you just checking right away? Little suspicious. Well, I mean, a little odd.
I just don't
that
think
you're so quick to leap. But like, what else would he be doing with these pictures of like the nightstand?
Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird.
Top comment. You said he cheated before. What sort of steps were taken to ensure he'd been a safe partner after that? Because an option device policy is usually agreed upon indefinitely. Cheating is a character flaw and requires years of self-imposed soul-searching and therapy and regaining of trust, 5 to 7 years before return to normalcy. Probably, like, where did you get that from?
What,
is that a fact?
That's a long-ass time. That's our whole relationship.
Probably he got to keep his relationship without much inconvenience, and he's at it again because cheaters don't respect their partner in the first place. Cheating is abuse. Emotional, psychological, physical, and even spiritual. Don't let him know you're onto him because you have one chance to gather evidence. Then you have one chance to confront and read him, pretending you know everything while never revealing what you know nor your sources. Then you leave his ass because he never did the reform, which would make him a safe partner. None of this would be happening if that was the case. Listen to your gut because liars only tell you what they think you already know. Unfaithfulness is in the heart first and foremost.
This sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
5 to 7 years until you feel better about your relationship. Let him do the work, blah, blah, blah. Why? Don't take... It's
not worth it.
Yeah, anybody that cheats, why? It's not worth it. Don't take them back. Just move on. Screw them.
OP replies, honestly, he promised he would change, and I saw this change in him and forgave him. I was very young, though, 23, so I didn't really consider all of the implications or understand all the reassurance that I needed from him. I'm much older and see things differently for sure, and I think I need to reevaluate what is going on, especially after I figure out the situation. Thank you for this. It is very eye-opening.
Jeez.
So, there's an update. I was not overreacting. I confronted him directly with the photos and asked him why he took them. He immediately said, "Why were you looking through my stuff?" I told him I felt like he has been acting shady, so I decided to look. I asked to go through his phone, and he just said, "Why?" I told him that I needed to see it because I don't trust him. He got so weird, saying I didn't need to see it and that I just need to relax, so I asked yet again, "What is up with the pictures?" And he literally did not know what to say. Like he couldn't even come up with an explanation that made any sense himself. Then I asked if he brought someone home while I was gone, and he said no, of course, and that I was being ridiculous. I again said that I need to see his phone for proof of that, and he refused. I debated asking my neighbor for his Ring doorbell footage from the time I was gone and see if there was a girl that went into my apartment, but I'm not even going to waste my time. His reaction was all I needed to know, and I was right. Should I have not gone through his things? Yes. But did I? Yes. And found out he was cheating on me? Also yes. So thank you to everyone who gave me all of their opinions. I really appreciate it.
That's it, bro. You're not going to give me my phone? That's it. We're done. Check your stuff. Get out.
Yeah. It's cheating.
It's very simple to me. There's, I don't know. We are believers in open phone policy. I think we should share the same password, but Teresa doesn't want to change her password. Neither do I, so.
Why do we need to share the same password?
It'd just be so much easier for me when I go to use your phone. And it'd be easier.
It's
sorry.
Face ID.
Let me rephrase that. It'd just be so much easier for you if you ever need to like type my password into my phone. If they were like both the same, it'd just be so much easier for you.
There's Face ID.
Well, sometimes, you're wearing sunglasses or a mask or like the angle of your chin.
Never.
And you're looking over it.
Never.
Sometimes Face ID doesn't always work.
Mine does.
Type in the password.
Well, guess what? Good thing I have a good memory.
Borrow your credit card. The PIN doesn't work.
Borrow my credit card.
Well, use your version of our joint credit card.
All right.
Teresa always has her wallet on her, so she always has the cards. My cards sit on the desk. I don't use a wallet or anything. Half the time I go out, I don't have the credit cards. Teresa's the credit card person. Didn't used to be an issue when our American Express was in Apple Pay, but then something happened and it's no longer in my phone. So I only,
have you tried adding it back recently?
I did. It's because that one's technically yours. I'm like the supplementary card holder.
Oh, yeah.
On my own stuff, it works fine, but our joint credit card is not technically a joint credit card.
Yeah.
We gotta go fix that. We're getting too deep into finances.
I agree.
Let's get out. Swim to the surface. Back to the Reddit stories. All right, guys. I said back to the Reddit stories, but the episode's over, so sorry about that. Back to reality.
For us.
We hope we didn't overreact too much. Were you overreacting? Did I overreact? Did you overreact?
I think we reacted the right amount.
Did you overreact while you're driving your car and listening to the podcast? Or did you overreact while you were at work and listening to the podcast? Because I'd love to know what the percentage pie is behind the people of what they're doing when they listen to the podcast. I feel like people driving their cars would be like,
we already asked that.
Yeah, I know. And we got split answers. Some people agree with me. Some people agree with you.
Most people agreed with me.
But I'm just saying, I wish we had analytics behind that because I bet you people driving the car would be like 23% of the pie or something.
23. That's very specific.
Well, it's
very Pacific.
What am I supposed? That was rude. I have a hard time with that sometimes. I have to try extra hard.
Guys, I went down a rabbit hole last night on Reddit and I searched our name. I searched ThreadTalk and I was just reading what people were saying and it was not good. I regret it deeply.
What?
But
So many people were nice.
Yeah, but the thing that sticks is the negative comments. And anyways, one person was like, I hate when Denver says Pacific. Like, you're a grown-ass man, bro. Why are you saying it like that?
I don't do it on purpose.
I know. What is it? You have dyslexia.
A little bit. Like, I think I do because sometimes without even
I
realizing
think you are actually dyslexic.
I'll say cob on the corn and stuff. And I'll mix up the fifth and second word of the saying or whatever. I'll swap them sometimes. Yeah. So I try my best, man. Honestly, sometimes things slip past the editing because, I only said it once and I didn't realize it. And yeah. I try my best. I am not a professional. This is amateur hour.
Aren't we?
We're working our way out. We got to log the hours. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
One of the comments did say they like how we engage with our fans. And I wish I could do this episode for you, but I'm actually all out of the comment section because we're kind of bulking up.
We did just get a new one on YouTube.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
This comment says, please be safe at the border. Also, I'm an American that agrees you shouldn't be supporting America because this shit sucks. Next, have a Q&A on how Americans should prepare to become Canadian citizens because we are scared, LOL.
Oh, man, this is a sensitive topic. I will say that apparently some of the news is saying the travel Canadians and worldwide people traveling to America has gone down like crazy.
Yeah.
Because people are being scared. I just watched a recent one where some people went into Hawaii and as they landed, they didn't have a hotel booked yet. So then they got deported. They were tourists. And because they didn't pre-book their hotel, they got hung up. They were German tourists. and because they didn't have a hotel booked, they got hung up. That's craziness, and they got deported. I know sometimes even before that, people have asked us like, where are you staying when you enter your country?
Yeah.
Like I know they're like,
I don't actually find that bizarre.
Like it's not bizarre that they got asked where you're staying, but it's bizarre that they just deported them because they didn't already have something pre-booked to like
But what
stay
was their
in.
plan?
I don't know. Tent camping or something, renting. I don't know what they're planning. I feel like you should have to show like a viable plan of like
That's what I mean.
or else it looks
That's why I
like
don't
you're
think
just gonna
that's
live
bizarre.
there. Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, yeah, what is your plan? Like, I don't know, maybe you're gonna hide under a cliff for.
I don't know if it's that bizarre though, because like I remember like my mom took me to the Kelowna the one time. We didn't have a hotel reservation booked. We didn't know where we were gonna stay. We drove into the town, and the first hotel we saw, we walked in there and said, "Hey, can we get a room for the night?" So I don't know if it's like that crazy to like if you're at the border, you're like, yeah, our plan was to just drive in here. We're gonna like go to one of these hotels. We don't know exactly where we want to stay. That's why I didn't book anything yet. To get deported for it, I don't know. A little weird, but yeah. But if you want to become Canadians, how do you do that? First
I
off,
have no idea.
buy some maple syrup. Keep that in your fridge. Get used to that.
Start saying A.
Start saying A. And would prepare yourself for your dollar to be worth way less.
Yeah.
And to be colorful. I will say, you Americans, you make fun of our Canadian money because it's like Monopoly money. It's colorful. But all of our bills are the exact same size. Did you know that your dollar bills are smaller than your 20s and your 100s? So when I have a bunch of bills in my pocket, they're all like...
I'm sure they know that.
Oddly, yeah, I know. They're all like oddly shaped. They're easy to rip. Yeah, so...
I did not know that.
But and prepare to transform your house into an igloo.
Yes, that's
we
a must.
all live in igloos up here.
Rite of passage.
This is an igloo condo. Stacked. Did make an igloo that one time. That was fun. But yeah, we don't really have too many Q&As because we're bulking up for the wedding because we want to take that month off. But if you guys have any comments or questions for us or anything, you guys drop it down below. Would love to hear from you guys. Would love to reply. Another thing that I was interested, if you guys, I've said this once before, I think, but I have a notes section in my phone. And now that RV life is happening, it's almost time. And I've been working on this notes section for like 3 years. Anytime I'm scrolling on like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and I see something that's cool, like rock climbing, mountain biking, dirt biking, go-karting, anything. I just recently saw this one that's called like Gravity Park or something. Like anything like that's an activity, like railroad adventures, hiking trails, anything that's like something that's like an activity that you would want to do. I've been like building up a list, and I plan to take my list and put it into ChatGPT and be like, all right, Chad, can you tell me like sort all of these into the states and provinces where they are, so that as we're creating our travel list, I can be like, oh, okay, these are in Iowa. And as we travel through Iowa, here's like my things that are on my Iowa bucket list. It's basically like my bucket list I've been building. So if you have any recommendations for us, please let us know. Currently, our travel plans are going to be taking us up through Northern Ontario. We're crossing over Manitoba, Saskatchewan. Then we're going to Jasper. Then we're going down to Kelowna in BC. Then we're going
Kelowna.
Yes.
Madison's screaming at you right now.
Whatever. Pacific. And then we're going to Banff. And then after Banff, we're going to drive back to Ontario. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for any future places that you want me to add to my bucket list, I would love that. I would appreciate that so much. So thank you. We appreciate all of your support.
Yes, we do. Patreon.
I was going to say,
we didn't even have a shameless plug of Patreon.
Sometimes I try not to be the salesperson. I try to see if you'll fill in the gaps. You know,
me?
I try not to be the
You're
podcast
testing
lead.
me. Try
Try not to be the lead, and I try to let you kind of take over to see if what you'll do.
I'm not good at that. If you guys like us, come join a Patreon.
Wow, hard sales pitch. Bonus episodes on Patreon. We're past 50 episodes. If you want to know our dirty history, some more life updates on there, or you just want more Reddit stories, sometimes even the best Reddit stories, bonus episodes, they also are coming out every Friday. So we appreciate all of your support on there and on here by smashing the like button and yeah.
Liking, subscribing, rating, commenting, all the things.
Yeah, the comments really help. So even if you disagree with us, we'd appreciate your comment. If you want to yell at us, tell us how much you hate us, and just send Teresa to the deep end, it helps our analytics. So we appreciate that too. Thank you. And good night.
Please don't. Bye. Me and my wait life.
Wait life.
You say weird shit.